Live yet.
Yes.
We're live! Woo!
Live.
Amazing. Hello to anybody out there. So I am Emily Coucher. I am an astrologer, a tarot card reader, and a moon lover. And I have an amazing guest with me today. I have Sarah El-Huh-Rawr. Remember to roar her last name, El-Huh-Rawr.
Roar it, put some love in it. Put some love into it. Yeah.
Yes. Let me introduce you properly in case people want to know who you are. So, yes, Sarah El-Huh-Rawr. Sarah is an astrologer, mentor and coach, a mum to 4, a sister to many, a friend to more, and an auntie to all. Yeah. Astrology changed her life by giving her a fresh perspective, making her feel whole, and showing her a way towards her truest self. So important. Astrology gave Sarah a renewed sense of agency and awareness of how to work with her cycles and her timing. And just for any people who are astrologically minded, her top 3 are a Taurus sun, Taurus moon, and a Capricorn rising.
Yeah.
So where Sarah is that I've got a Capricorn moon myself, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Remind me your sun and rising.
Yeah, I'm Gemini sun and Gemini rising.
Oh, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've got loads of things that I'd like to ask you. Right.
By all means, I'm very happy to be with you, Emily, today. This is very great to get in touch with you in this way.
Yeah, me too. For anyone who doesn't know, Sarah taught me most of what I know in Deborah Silverman's School of Applied Astrology. So also thank you to Deborah Silverman, if she ever sees this.
Yeah.
Too. We love her.
Absolutely, 100%. Always give thanks to Deborah Silverman. She is the mother.
Yes.
Yes.
Our elemental astrology mother.
Yes. So I'm a teacher in Deborah's school, and Emily was a student. And so Deborah's like the big principal, and I was Emily's level 1 and 2 mentor. And you did take level 3 as well, Emily, right?
Yes, I did. Tara was my level 3, and Deborah was also making quite a lot of appearances as well. So
fun, amazing.
And we had Sarah, I've forgotten her last name, who was also about.
Yeah, Sarah Elise.
Yes, Sarah Elise. Yeah, from Sarah Elise Astrology. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah. So tell me, today we're talking about Gemini.
We are. We're talking about Gemini, but we're also talking about you.
Okay.
I have lots of things I want to ask you, and then I thought we could drop in and talk a little bit about the Gemini new moon coming up and stuff.
Okay, I'm ready. Ready for action. I was born ready.
Oh, there's a Carrie Underwood song that kind of speaks about that. I don't know whether you know the song Champion.
I don't know it. Does she say I was born ready?
She says that she's born to win.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Unstoppable, unshakable, unbreakable.
Amazing.
Up again.
Amazing. I know how much you love music. Actually, one of our first contacts was through music, right?
Yeah, I kept singing in your classes.
Yeah, it's true. True. Okay, let's talk about me. Let's get to very important subjects and let's talk about me.
How did you find astrology? And tell us your story.
So finding astrology. Okay, so definitely my mom had an astrologer when I was growing up. So my mom would get astrology readings like professionally once in a while. So she believed in astrology. She always told me I was a Taurus, and I knew that I was a Capricorn rising as well. Always. That was like part of the narrative. I always knew my mom was a Leo rising and a Scorpio sun and a Pisces moon. Like this was part of just the general knowledge, right? And so it was growing up, it was like a normal thing. to understand, right? So it wasn't like this taboo topic, or it wasn't also particularly like the center of any conversation. My mom had a life that had nothing to do with astrology for 99.99999% of the time. And then once in a while she would see her astrologer, and so I knew about that. So it was casual, just the existence and the belief and the interaction with astrology as a modality of healing. So then my father also uh, is very mystically oriented. Okay. So he was a mystically oriented Jew, studying Kabbalah, teaching Kabbalah. And so he had his own mystical environment in which he knew astrologers. And so my father's friend Ruth was an astrologer. So I knew of astrology. Astrology was part of my life. I never thought I would become an astrologer. That wasn't the plan at all. Even then, when I did meet Deborah, who was a friend's friend, right? And that was 27 years ago, right? So a lifetime ago. How old are you, Emily?
I'm 37. I was 37 on the 27th
Yeah.
of this month. What, of May?
Yeah. Um, so imagine 27 years ago I met her and she gave me a reading, and that reading was really groundbreaking. And it was the first formal reading that an astrologer, and so a properly trained astrologer. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
not some stuff that I read in a book, but that was like an actual formal, properly trained astrologer that gave me my first reading, and it was Deborah Silverman. So that reading really kicked ass, and it was life changing. And yeah, and then I just loved astrology so much. And it was always around me. And so I studied it casually, I want to say, forever, right? Then at some point, I don't know how it happened, honestly. I don't know how but it was definitely very gradual from forever. This is how I met astrology, right? And then at some point, it just like there was a click where I fell into the pool, like really deeply, heavily. And then I didn't know how to synthesize, really. So I had all of these ideas that were learned in books, but I didn't know how to synthesize it. So I met with Deborah, and she had just opened her school, and I took her school, and then I became a teacher at her school. There it is.
That's amazing.
There it is. Is it? I don't know. I don't know if it's that amazing, really. How did you meet astrology, Emily?
I don't really know how I got there. It's weird.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
So, I guess I've just always thought there was something out there that I guess.
The first time you knew you were a Gemini.
I was just reading in magazines. I think I found Yasmin Boland in a magazine years ago. There was magazines like, I think it was J17. So I would have been, well, say about 14 or 15 when I saw the magazine. And then was sort of like looking at the horoscopes and thinking, well, some of them feel really accurate. Others, I think, no, somebody's just written this. That doesn't feel like it's actually written by someone real who actually knows anything about the sign. But actually, I just thought, it's got to be some kind of thing. Is it real? Is it not? And then over the years, I just sort of dipped my toe into spirituality, and I found yoga first. And my teacher, actually, she's French Canadian as well. Yoga with Cassandra Reinhardt. She was talking about the lunar cycle and how on new moons you want to do something which is more gentle, and on full moons you want to sort of use the energy which is fuller. I'm thinking, this is so cool. And then she had a lunar yoga program, got part of that, And she's really deep diving into the lunar cycle and how to use its energies and things. I thought, this is so cool. I really want to learn more about this. And then I think somewhere, oh yeah, I bought a moon diary, which was by Yasmin Boland, and so I bought the Moonology
You
diary.
see, it's all of these like
Little things.
little things that happen over a lifetime, and that kind of like,
Yeah.
and I think this is what happens with astrology, is that first you're like kind of curious about it or into it, and then when you start to look close, you realize the beauty and the magnanimity. But from far, it's like, oh, is this fun? Is this cool? Is this whatever? I don't know. But as soon as you look close, it's like looking into a microscope, except that it's the opposite. But you know how you would look at something that looks plain from the outside, and then if you put a microscope, it's like this whole psychedelic visual of this whole organism of full of colors and movement, right? And from
Yeah.
outside, it looks like nothing. There's that thing where once you look into astrology and you find out the equations of it, the story of it, it really changes the ball game.
Yeah, it really feels like a book of your life. I think, well, my first reading was from you at the beginning of our class. And I thought, how does she know me? This is crazy. How do you know me? And I really felt like you were reading the book of my life. And then in level 3, I got Deborah looking at reaffirming my yod. And I was like, oh, wow. It was just, everything has sort of really changed, and I thought I need to do this for my life. It feels like this is my connection to the elements that's been missing. This is sort of this slightly what feels like the sciencey bit, which actually explains so much more. It's not just a blueprint, it's who I am, where I can go, what's good, what needs work,
Where
where
I've been, it's very interesting what you're saying about this thing.
yeah.
Like, yeah, the fact that you can stretch it to so many times of your life. You can like see it. How was it done? And this is something that I teach my students a lot. Like if you're going to see an aspect in your chart, so I'd say you have Moon square Jupiter, whatever. You look at the aspect and you can ask yourself, how has this been expressed in the past?
Yeah.
How is this being expressed right now? How do I want it to be expressed in the future? And giving that same placement the possibility of being many different things and engaging on many different levels with each one of them.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I am quite Uranian, having Aquarius on my midheaven at the very top of my chart. So for anyone who doesn't know or speak astrology, your midheaven talks a lot about your career, your reputation, and what you're known for, and it's a really cool public place of your chart. So yeah, and I keep seeing the sort of Uranian signatures in my chart as well. Although I am Gemini Sun and Rising, with that yod to Gemini and Mercury also within my first house. So the way I think, yeah, making sense of things is my bag. It's everything I need to do. It's kind of
So Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, right? Uranus is a higher octave of Mercury. All the transpersonal planets are higher octaves of the personal planets. Uranus to Mercury, Neptune is to Venus, the higher octave.
wow, because Neptune is
So,
part of my mood as well.
and Pluto is a higher octave of Mars.
Okay. So beautiful. But less about me and more about you. Oh, wow. I could talk to you forever, Sarah. And
Tell me, talk to me forever. I'm here. I'm 100% here. You tell me what you want to talk about. I'm here for it.
Amazing. So, okay. So if we look at your big 3 then, how do they relate to who you are and what you do? How have they manifested in your life?
Well, yeah. So I'm very much so. I'm a Taurus sun, Taurus moon, and Capricorn rising. Um, and I've always identified with the Taurus bit of me. Um, it's a very embodied thing. I think your sun and moon, you're going to feel them very much in your body. Your sun is going to be the way that you seek out energy in the world and the way that you give out energy in the world. The sun is literally like energy. What the sun does to earth, the sun does in our chart. So it's the giver of life, right? Um, and so I really do feel the Taurus energy in me. I'm very stable. Taurus is fixed and it's earth. And I'm very much that fixed and earthy. Um, and so I identify with my sun sign a lot, and it happens to be my moon sign as well. So this is like, this feels very aligned for me. However, not everybody is going to feel like their sun or their moon. If they have a planet conjunct their sun or their moon, the flavor of that planet is going to overtake the sun sign. So not everybody feels like their sun sign. There's a lot of people who don't feel like they embody their sun sign, and usually it's because there's a planet conjunct their sun. I feel like a Taurus through and through. So then the Capricorn part of me, and I think that's also important because I feel like Capricorn is maybe one of these signs that has a less good reputation in pop culture. And so if people hear Capricorn, they go, ooh, a little bit. And so at first it did that for me. I was like, Capricorn, ooh, no, I don't want to be that. And so it took me a minute to really know this about myself, that I am a Capricorn very much so, and to understand the ways that I am a Capricorn, and to understand the ways that it's beautiful to be a Capricorn. Um, and I think that studying astrology does that for people, that it really teaches that there are no good signs or no bad signs, and that everything has true potential, and to see what it could mean for you. So the Capricorn was good for me. And I mean, even the negative sides of Capricorn, I for sure have. But it's hard to look at your negative sides. Like, for sure, I'm bossy. I mean, you've been in my classes. You know that, I mean, they're my class. It's my class. I'm the boss of the class when I'm in the class, right? And it's, I think that's the Capricorn that shows through. And it feels safe for people to be led by a Capricorn, actually.
Yeah.
People feel safe when they're led by a Capricorn because they feel like there's a structure, there's an order, and the person who's leading you knows what they're doing. And so it gives you space to relax a little bit. And so I love that about my rising sign, that I can create that thing where it's safe for people to rely on me to lead them, to rely on me to make the decisions, to call the shots. And it's a little bit hard for people to admit about their Capricorn sign, like, I'm bossy. It's okay. It's okay for me to be bossy. People need to be bossed around. People
It's
need
okay
to be bossed
for
around.
me to feel ambitious. It's okay for me to see things sometimes a bit black and white, but it's okay because actually I am still supportive.
So
I am
black and
there.
white is discernment also, there, to be discerning. It's okay for me to know and to be discerning and to want to do what's right. It's okay for me. And so when you mix it with the Uranian, for me, the Uranian thing is about ethics. Uranus is about ethics. It's fixed air. So it's about ideas that shouldn't change, actually. It's about progress, but fixed air is holding a concept so thoroughly that it becomes a pillar for society. So it's about morals and ethics, right? And so this is really important to say, to know about yourself. So that's also interesting because you're asking me, the question is like, what's your sun, moon, and rising? How do you feel that in your life? But the truth is that, so yes, I do feel my sun, moon, and rising 100%. But also, there are other parts of my chart that I think I feel more and that I think people see more of me. Notably, Uranus is conjunct my midheaven.
Ah,
I have a grand trine in fire.
yes.
And so people will feel my grand trine in fire and can testify for it 100% of the time, be like, yes, she does. And then with Uranus conjunct the midheaven, 100% of the time, people are like, yes, that's her. So
She's crazy.
yeah, so these are more obscure parts of my astrology, but however, they're more relevant than my sun, moon, and rising. And I think that although sun, moon, and rising is the gateway to astrology, it's certainly not the destination. Like sun, moon, and rising is opening the door.
Yes.
It's the door. So doors are great. They serve an awesome purpose. They're really definitive. But what goes on in the room can be completely different,
Mm.
right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yes, you light up a room with your grand trine. You give us a bit of energy, but then there's this little quirkiness and really kind of cool, but also compassionate feel when it comes to you. So I know that you're teaching from your heart, but you're also using that supportive container. But then there's also, she's cool. It's like, this is the auntie that I needed.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's 100% my chart. Isn't that funny? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, once you see it, you can't unsee it. And same with you, Emily. Like, you're such a beautiful embodiment of your chart. It's really cool. I did its best, and you know that very well. And I think this is like really something that Deborah's school really teaches for people, is that at its best, astrology will give you permission to be who you are.
Yes, definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
I
next question.
sang myself a theme tune which basically said all of these things. I
Yeah.
don't know whether you've seen it, but the intro to my channel, I've kind of got a few of my a few of my guest images. So I thought that we would be slightly earlier in our sort of catching up. So I already put you and Celeste in there, but then also put in some other people I've interviewed along the way. And then I've got an affirmation for every single sign. And at the end of it, I've said, with compassion, it's all astrology. So it's kind of, this is me. And obviously the singing had to be in there somewhere, but it's holding space for everything I do. And holding space, obviously, for my clients, holding space for people on my YouTube channel, and within the products that I sell, which hopefully uplift and support people in their lives to be their best selves. So
Yeah.
that's where the hands of my logo come from as well. It's that container of holding space.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. It's a total mudra,
Yeah, it is. It is actually.
you know? Yeah. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That's really interesting. That's beautiful. It's your relationship with that connection. So, yeah, I love that. That's the embodied part. Like when your hands go like this, like your body knows what it's doing.
Yeah.
Very beautiful. Yeah, and that's gorgeous what you're saying because yeah, so at first astrology would give you permission to be yourself and compassion in who you are,
Mm.
hold space for you, but then eventually it allows you to hold space for others
Yes. Definitely. I
and to
love it.
give the love out,
Yeah.
yeah, to overflow. There could be an overflow where you receive so much from astrology that your cup runneth over, Emily.
Yes. And that's my Venus in Cancer.
Yeah,
There's the beauty and the magic. Totally.
gorgeous.
Thank you, Sarah, for bringing it out of me.
Yeah. my pleasure, my life's mission, my life work. Here you go. So happy. Yeah. I'm so happy to see. Yeah, because Deborah has such a special channel, and then she's like kind of like giving me the mic, and I'm like holding to somebody else, and it's like there's a thread.
Mm. I actually love her meditations as well, the whole golden thread thing as well. That's you having the embodiment to the earth and connection to spirit as well, and realizing that the divine's within you as well as within the elements of earth and how we interact with it all. So it's just so cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, next question. Actually, we kind of covered that about. Actually, what's your perspective on it? So, why do people call you Astro Auntie?
Yeah. So it's a cool story, and shout out to the OGs who did it, because it happened. I was part of a beautiful community of beautiful women that got together um, for beautiful purposes. And it was a really gorgeous moment of time that was short and amazing. And I had people come to me for astrology counsel a lot in this community. And then they started calling me Astro Auntie. The end. And it was just like this moment in time where I was being an Astro Auntie, and people started calling me that, and the name stuck. So I didn't even think about it myself. It's good branding, and I like good branding, Emily. So when it came out, I was like, bitch, I'm gonna run with this. This is mine. Like, everybody was calling it me that. It stuck. And so it stuck. Like I claimed it. And so the auntie thing, so every cultures has aunties. And so what is an aunt in life? Is somebody who's not your mother, who's not your sister, who's here to show you a good time and show you the way, and who has like good intentions over you, and has kind of like it's a relationship of respect and care. And yeah, you know, I don't know. Do you have a favorite aunt?
Um, hmm.
You don't have a cool aunt. I'm your only cool
You can be
auntie.
my cool aunt.
I'm your cool auntie. The end. That's done deal. I'm your cool aunt forever. It's that relationship of like, it's like a big sister, except that they don't share your trauma. They have another trauma. I have really cool aunts, really cool aunts. And yeah, aunties are in the kitchen. They're going to talk to you about your boyfriend. They're going to talk to you about your money, things that you wouldn't talk maybe to your parents about.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Right. And also, it's also about my frankness, I think. I think they called me that because also I'm not a therapist.
No.
And so I'm also very much not bullshit. I'm also very frank and direct and intimate. And so there's this relational thing where it comes from this space. It doesn't come from the space that I'm a therapist or even a healer, maybe, question mark.
Although it is kind of healing in its own
It
right.
is in its own way. It is in its own way. But I think a lot of my work is focused on deconstructing the power structures that are inherent to the healer client and to the teacher student. So, although I am here for a job, which is teach, and so I am aware of everybody's role in that relationship. I'm here to teach and to make you understand something, and you're here to learn. So everybody has to have their roles established. But at
Mm.
the same time, because I know this, doesn't mean that I'm better than you, doesn't
No.
mean that I know more life than you,
No.
doesn't mean that I whatever. It just means that this, I have it and I'm sharing it with you. So I'm aware that there can be people who have a power trip, and an auntie is no power trip.
No. Brilliant.
You know, I'm not astro guru. I'm not here to be.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. Yeah. You call things out, but you're going to support people. But at the same token, yeah, you're on a level playing field. It's not I'm above you. It's not any kind of it's not any power play in that respect. It's a case of right, I'm here to support you, show you how to bring your best self out.
And also in this container, you know what I mean? Which is very, it has, yeah, yeah, yeah. Tell me your next question. My hair is crazy today. You know what?
Oh yeah, my hair doesn't behave itself either. But headphones will sort of hide that.
Since I have gray hair, it's crazier than ever. So
Oh,
the
you've got so
grayer
much
it
wisdom
gets,
stream.
gray hair is unruly, which I love this about graying women. Like our
Yeah,
hair is out of control. Forget
I
it.
can't wait to get more. That's really sad, isn't it? Every so often I get one, I'm just like, I got a wisdom streak.
That's such a Moon and Capricorn thing to say.
Thank you.
It's such a Moon Capricorn thing to want is more gray hair.
People might actually believe I'm more of an authority in some respects in that way too.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
This is,
yeah,
oh,
for
you're
sure.
baby
Earn your
face, you're so
stripes.
young.
Earn your stripes, girl. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Gorgeous. No choking.
Oh, excuse me. Oh, it's one of my mugs, by the way.
Oh,
See,
sweet. Very sweet. Yeah,
Gemini connection's my superpower.
yeah.
Right, where are we going? So, where's
I'm
your number
going
5?
wherever you take me for this moment, Emily. I'm completely aboard your ship. You take me.
Oh, brilliant. Um, oh, yes. So this is kind of back on a Taurusy theme. So what are your most important values and strengths that you've gained through both studying and teaching astrology?
Values and
Values
values
and strengths.
and strengths that I got from teaching astrology and practicing astrology. Values, I want to say, okay, values that astrology has given me is the values that astrology has given me would be yeah, that there is no right answer, wrong answer, that it's okay to be you, that wherever you are right now is the perfect place to realize whatever you need to realize and do whatever you need to do. That it gave me immense compassion for others and for myself also. Um, it made me also, it's like it's another perspective. It's looking at human condition from a much more, I want to say, like, it's another perspective completely and entirely, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, also um strengths, I don't know, it's a hard question. The strength in my life, the strength that it made me strong. How did astrology make me strong? So maybe astrology made me strong by um showing me that everything is a cycle, and that not to get attached too much to the right now of it, of things.
Mm.
The right now of things is going to go.
Yeah, it's kind of a this too shall pass, isn't it? It's kind of, yeah, I'm embracing the joy, or I'm embracing
Yeah.
pain or whatever. But then I'm also realizing that that joy or that pain is momentary, and things will come around again. And I've still got lots of time and lots of growth and lots of perspective to gain and lots of wisdom to achieve, lots to learn, because life will keep bringing that around to you, which is the circle of life.
The spiral of life, right? The spiral of life. It's the spiral of life.
And it moves us all.
The spiral. We have to change everything to spiral. Girl, it's not a circle.
Spiral of life. Kind of like, actually, I did catch you and Celeste, who was also on my channel recently. Whoop whoop. You and Celeste talking about Venus and how it's just moved into Leo. So,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. You want to talk about Venus and Leo right now?
Yeah, we could do. Yeah, so it's kind of that creativity, it's that permission to be seen and heard, but also, where's the beauty in that? Where are you going to show up as your most beautiful self, and realize that life is fun? You don't have to be so serious. And yeah, it's a beautiful place to play and to show up for yourself and that sort of thing. What do you think?
Sure, yes. Yeah, 100%. And also, yeah, it's a good moment to think about, um, yeah, what image you want to project also, who you
Hmm.
want, who you want to be. You know, how Venus is a want, is there's a desire. And so if you think about like the desire of Leo, there's definitely the thing about like wanting to be seen that could be investigated also in this moment,
Hmm.
right? Leo to be seen.
Yeah,
So how do you want to be seen? Thinking about that. Venus is going to go in retrograde while it's in Leo. So really investigating the ways in which we want to be perceived is
yeah,
also interesting with that, right?
definitely.
And then you had said we were going to speak about Gemini. Were we going to speak about Gemini?
We were, yes. I did write a few transits down just in case. So that for us in the UK, I haven't brought the other diary in. That's annoying. Yeah, for us in the UK anyway, it's on the 18th of June at 5:37 in the morning. I don't know the timings for you.
Yeah, it's on June 18th also. You want me to look? I will tell you. I have it right here. I have it in my phone. Um, it will be on the 18th. New Moon in Gemini. It's at exactly 1:36 a.m. on the East Coast
Mm.
on Sunday the 18th.
Mm.
The new moon in Gemini, Sun and Moon.
Yes.
Sabian symbol, a gypsy coming out of the forest. Do you look at the Sabian symbols?
I don't know much about them, no, but it's kind of interesting. Give us a little talk on that bit then.
The Sabian symbols are channeled by Elias Lonsdale. So he was an astrologer poet, and for each degree, he wrote kind of like an archetypal mythical story. And so it's interesting to see them at the new moon. So for this degree of 26 degrees Gemini, which is going to be the new moon, it's a gypsy coming out of the forest.
Okay. So a gypsy coming out the forest. That's interesting. So
Thinking about Gemini, and so how Gemini can be like the soul that's adventurous and trying things and maybe free. What were they doing in the forest? Interesting. What has Gemini done in Gemini? They're coming out. It's 26 degrees. It's almost the end of the cycle.
okay.
Yeah. So we've been in a long Gemini month already. How's your Gemini season going? When's your birthday, Emily?
It was the 27th of May. We went to Slam Dunk
Okay.
Festival.
Yeah.
So Slam Dunk Festival, we had all the punk bands that my husband and I used to listen to growing up. So The Offspring, Bowling for Soup. Who else was there? Well, Les and Jake were there as well, but I didn't really listen to them much as a kid. But yeah, The Offspring, Bowling for Soup, and more recently we've been getting into Flogging Molly, and they were there too. So it's the second time we saw them, and I survived the mosh pits. I stood upright.
No, you went in the mosh pits now?
We were next to them, so we didn't have much choice.
I love it. I love it. I
Fire, Sarah.
it. Oh my God. A punk rock moment. That's beautiful. I pray for you that you always go to punk festivals all through your old age, even when you're an old Capricorn moon. You know how Capricorns can bend the time? That you always be at punk festivals. Prayer for you.
Oh, that's cute. So my friend Alicia's just joined. I'm going to show that. That's cute. She's got him in one piece. So a little shout out to Alicia as a fellow UK-based business. I actually buy lots of crystals from her. So yeah, she's Colourpop Studio is all about sort of having a little bit of colour with crystal jewelry and beautiful paintings and designs and things that she sells, and it's just so cute.
Amazing. Super cool.
So it's always, oh, I need another crystal. Oh, Alicia, what have you got?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. So where were we at? We were rambling about lots of things. Oh, Gemini new moon. That's what we were kind of talking about. What we were trying to get into a little bit about it. So yeah, there's actually a stellium there. So we've got the stellium is 3 planets or more. So we've got Gemini, the sun and moon together, which forms the new moon. And we also have Mercury there as well, which is lovely. And that's kind of, yeah, it's like looking at my chart and really, you know what I mean? It's kind of, yeah, I have those. So our thoughts and our feelings and how we project ourselves are going to be very sort of Gemini in nature, likely. So, the new moon, it's the 18th of June. What else do we have? We have Venus sextiling Mars as well. So there's like, oh dear, my brain's kind of, I'm hot. It's boiling here, absolutely boiling.
Is it? You're boiling.
Absolutely boiling.
It's not really here. So you want us to talk a little bit about this new moon?
Yes, far away. Save my brain.
Yeah, I'm gonna save your brain right now. Let me 1 second. I'm gonna just take the image of it in a second. Here it is. Okay, so yeah, we have, oh yeah, we have this happening. So we've been having this happening with the node and Jupiter being squared Pluto and the Leo Mars and Venus. So we have Mars and Venus that are going to be in Leo, square Jupiter in the north node, square Pluto. So it creates a T square between the two. And then there's Saturn is going to be squaring Mercury as well. And then there's a big influence of Neptune, which is exactly square the new moon. So it's
Ah,
actually a new moon that feels like a lot of squares. There are a
mm,
lot of squares in this new moon. The thing that's interesting, I find, is going to be mostly the Neptune Gemini situation. Um,
mm.
so the Neptune in Pisces at 27 degrees, squaring the Gemini new moon at 26 degrees. So Neptune in Pisces can bring intuition, it can bring vision, etc. But because it's squaring the new moon, there might be this form of like maybe illusion or idealization or being kind of maybe fooled into thinking things that are not fully formed. So,
So we just got a question. So squaring is about sort of challenges and things are not necessarily directly harmonious. And challenges we can, when we are aware of them, we can address them and potentially make them easier to deal with. But yeah, they are slightly harder challenges that we need to work through.
mhm, yeah.
So
It's a tension for growth, really, is what a
yeah,
square is.
family.
It creates a tension and it helps you change. It's a call for change, is what it is, you know. So some aspects are telling us like, okay, you're on the good road, continue exactly as you've been. And some other ones are like, okay, you should probably change something here. And so here, the thing that is brought to our attention is illusions, kind of, in a way, right? The
Mhm.
way that we tell ourselves a story that's not completely true, the
Yeah,
way that we let ourselves kind of like be charmed by smoke and mirrors, or
mm,
um, you know, the way that maybe also we think we feel something, we think it's true. Just because you feel it doesn't mean it's true, you know. There's also that. There's really the questioning there of like, what does your truth mean really to you? What is truth? Is there
yeah,
even such thing as truth, question mark? Or is truth just an individual experience in a moment? So with Gemini, which really deals with belief, and
yes,
Neptune, which also deals with belief. And so Gemini is how the mind works, and Neptune is going to be like beliefs that are even like sometimes spiritual,
yeah,
or and sometimes and or irrational, you know. So a strong Neptune would be like, listen to your intuition. But a harsh aspect from Neptune, which is like the square that we're having right now, is really like, are
fear.
your intuitions always real?
Mm.
Is your feeling always right on? See it with a grain of salt, right? Do you see this?
Yeah, I was thinking there might be a bit of a fear. And are you, yeah, as you say, are you telling yourself the truth? Are you actually feeling the truth? Are you seeing the truth? It's kind of right. With Gemini, you need to make sense, but also you're making sense of it. But are you listening to your intuition? But actually, you checking where that all lands because there's so many things here to pick up on. There are definitely
There's
challenges.
so many things to pick up on. I think that's really a big one about this, because when you think about Neptune, Neptune has no boundaries. So it's like
No,
literally information from everywhere,
yeah,
everything. And then Mercury tries to synthesize the information. But then Jupiter, Gemini, sorry, is also like multiplicity of
yeah,
information. And so Gemini
public
is
understanding.
very well aware that there are 10 things going on at once. And so Neptune can take 10 things and make that exponential, right? And
Mm,
so there is a lack of discernment,
mm,
100% in that. We were just talking about the strength in Capricorn, which would be discernment. In here, there's no discernment. So to
mm,
be aware of that, like, okay, there are 100 things going on, but are 100 things equally important,
Yeah.
equally relevant? What can you kind of like nix in this? And I think what's interesting is that this new moon is not dissimilar to the full moon that just happened in Sagittarius, where
Hmm.
there was also some conversation about, hello, what are we
Yeah.
paying attention to? What is
Yeah.
belief?
They're
What
quite
is,
high.
what is worthy of your attention in this,
Yeah.
right? I think I think that would be a good synthesis of what this new moon in Gemini means. It means you can set your mind to whatever you want.
Mm.
You could really set your mind to and think about whatever you want in this life. Make sure you set your mind on what you want, not things that are not for you. Not everything is for you, Neptune.
Yes.
Neptune says not everything is yours, not everything is for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My hair's still acting weird. Sorry.
Still, you can embrace your wisdom streaks. I need to grow
No,
mine.
I have no other choice, Emily. I had no other choice. That gray came in so strong and so fast and so um violent that even if when I was dyeing it, it would in 2 seconds you could see it. Though, yeah, no, forget
Just
it.
needed to come out.
Needed to come out. She's a Capricorn. My
Yeah.
writing was like, hey, Capricorn.
The boss has walked in.
Yeah. Yeah, you have gray stripes. You can be an authority now. Okay.
Give me my wisdom streaks.
It's coming, girl. It's coming. Yeah.
I'm so weird like that. So weird. A lot of people
Listen,
are just like, oh no, we don't want grey hair. I was like, bring it.
please. Yeah. It's a trip. It's a trip.
Oh wow. So mm. Oh, what are the sort of some of the best connections that you've made throughout your career, I guess?
You mean people?
Yeah, connections with people, with life, with
People. Exclamation mark. First of all, people. Exclamation mark of huge emphasis. Um, Between my clients and my students, honestly, I have met such a wide variety of folks. Yeah, you want to go white so you can have a lilac rinse? You have to be careful.
oh,
Like your
so
real white, you have to be careful because if you dye it, then it's gonna stay on your white forever. So it's like a hard commitment after. How short are you willing to go though? So the people that I've met, between my clients and my students, honestly, an infinity and such a wide variety of beautiful folks. I've crossed paths with really amazing people that I love very deeply. My colleagues and my peers also. Um, the teachers that I teach with at Deborah's school. I mean, Deborah, forget it. Major, major influence, major. The people that I've met in her school, the other teachers, and then going to conferences, meeting other teachers, other people, countless. Astrology is gorgeous like this because, I'm going to tell you a story that really for me summed up a lot and that I'm very proud of. Last year, I went to the ESAR conference in Colorado. And so it's 5 days of astrology classes from morning to night, taught by some of the masters of the world. I'm talking about Demetra George, Stephen Forrest, Richard
Wow.
Tarnish. Like, we're talking about like huge astrologers, Christopher Renser. I mean, like really for me, like people, important people. And so
Mm.
you go to their classes, and there's astrologers from all over the world that come for these conferences. And so they stay at the hotel for 5 days and everybody takes their classes. And so, but there's the whole hotel for these 5 days is astrologers from top to bottom, right? And
Mm.
so on the last day, as we're about to leave, we're having one last meal in the restaurant of the hotel before going to the airport and leaving. And the waiter that had been there the whole week told me, I was never into astrology. I don't really care about it. But that now that I met you guys, I'm for sure going to study because you guys were the nicest bunch of folks we have ever seen at a conference. We've had conferences before, many, and this group was the most kind, compassionate, attentive group of all, and we got the most tips that we ever did.
Wow.
And I thought that that spoke a lot about who astrologers are.
Definitely.
You know, Another thing is, so there are dance parties at these conferences, which is so fun because it's astrologers rocking out. So we go to the dance party, and I forgot my bag. I was tipsy. We're having fun. I forgot my bag at the dance party, and then as I'm like running to get my bag, I'm realizing I'm not scared for my bag actually. And I'm not scared that somebody would steal my phone, my wallet, my things, because all of these people in this party work with karma.
Yes.
And they would never, an astrologer would never touch your shit. An astrologer would never touch your bag in a party and take your credit card and your money. They'd be like, "Are you crazy? Am I planting seeds for Saturn to show you about these things? No, not doing it." So I found it was very telling about the type of people I've met. I've met
Mm.
honestly hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people from practicing astrology. So it's really expanded my social circle to infinity.
We have another question.
Those conferences are so great. Are they appropriate for astrologer student? No, you don't have to be professional, but some classes are beginner, but most classes are semi-advanced. So it's like you're going to the pool, you're swimming in the water. So you kind of have to like have drank the Kool-Aid. But Anna, if you're like an astrology student who has taken astrology classes and everything previously, do it by all means. They're wonderful. And I would really love Emily to do them. And Emily, there are some conferences in England.
Mm. Yes, I
Get
know. I
your
do that.
butt to English astrology conferences. You're going to adore it. Yeah.
Oh, cool. So yeah, that answers the question.
Oh, Anna, for sure, do it. Woo! Come.
Woo! DSA graduates.
DSA graduate, as Anna saying she's done DSA level 3. You're in. Go to an astrology conference. You're going to meet your favorite astrologers. You're going
Oh,
to learn from different people. You're going to enrich your vocabulary. You're in England too. There's so many things happening in England. The English astrology community is one of the most prolific, interesting, advanced, amazing communities of the world. Of the world, you guys. It's amazing. You have so many fantastic people there to learn from and to be with. I'm a big fan of English astrologers and just, it's like as if you were talking about punk rock.
About what, sorry?
About punk rock.
Oh, yeah.
So you're like, oh, cool, cool, punk rock, American punk rock, American
Yeah,
punk rock.
exactly.
I'd be like, girl, you're English. Like, there is punk in England, like, crazy. Like, England is one of the motherships of astrology, for real, for real.
Mm,
It's a big pivotal part of the world where astrology was very advanced and is currently very advanced and very prolific. Some of my favorite astrologers are in England. You guys check out Wendy Stacy.
Wendy Stacy. I will try to remember the name. And it's in my, at least it's here, isn't it? So at least I can
Sure,
come back and say,
remember it.
what did
Yeah,
you say? Oh, it's
Mayo astrology, like the mayonnaise you put on the sandwich. I don't know why they call it mayo. Major astrology of yonder on. I don't know, but yeah, they're really fantastic.
cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
I know you probably had an order of questions to ask me, and we are taking it all over the place. So,
it doesn't really matter. I just wrote them down. It's just I put numbers so that I would actually see them as questions.
yeah.
Or trying to trick my brain to be more organized and not so up in the clouds.
Yeah, but I think we got a bunch of stuff covered, don't you think so? I think so.
Yeah, we always cover things. Doesn't matter how we cover them. It's just as long as I actually try and get some value to people, and I think we're doing something cool there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Love a tangent here.
Absolutely. That's so
Oh,
divine. I'm a tangent queen.
so sweet.
Yeah. Tangent queen.
Tangent
Amazing.
queen.
Yeah.
Oh,
So I'm 100% into also, you guys connecting with the communities of wherever you are. Wherever you are, there are people who love astrology. Um, awesome, Anna. Yeah, we covered a bunch of stuff.
yeah, I'm overdue a catch up with my Astro family, as I call them. So we've got Lisa, who is actually working with Deborah anyway. So people want to check out her, Lisa Marie Astrology. I've got so many other people, but a lot of them aren't doing it in the same way that I am, but that's fine. We're all doing things differently, and which makes it so cool to just check in and see how they're doing. And of course, I host. I'm the one who pays for Zoom so we can host, and
Yeah.
I get longer times. Like, this is mine. I can speak. I pay to be here,
Good.
but
Good.
I'm allowing you to be here with me because I love you. you know.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I do need to
I
catch
love
up.
this platform. Tell me about this platform that you do. So you do the lives on YouTube. Is that
Yeah, yeah, I do them through StreamYard and I put them out to YouTube and Facebook at the same time.
so? Do you feel like it's yeah, that it changes something that it's live versus doing it and then posting it after?
Um, I feel that I have to show up if I make it live. If that makes sense. It's giving me integrity to show up and be present rather than just putting it off and saying, oh, I'll do it another time. If I'm live, I'm being accountable, I'm there and showing up for people.
Capricorn moon.
That's Capricorn moon.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
The Gemini can float and go off at the tangents, as we know. But the Capricorn moon says I've got to be accountable and that I mean business. I'm ambitious.
Good. Good. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. I mean, we are going in circles because we've spoken about a lot of things. Yeah. So
oh my goodness, have we already been like over an hour?
It's
wow.
an hour and 5 minutes. Yeah.
Do you have any sort of time restrictions or anything, Sarah? Because I don't want to keep you.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I'm gonna have to go soon, Yeah, because the kids, the stuff, the life is going on.
Yeah.
But it was really truly a pleasure to be with you and to spend this moment with you, Emily.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really. And I really wish you all the things. And I really think that you should nurture your astrology world in really consistent, beautiful Capricorn ways and give it the time that it needs to grow into itself,
Yeah.
to allow it to be. It's truly like a baby. It's truly like a person. Discover who Lunar Pumpkin wants to be. You too, Anna. It was really nice to spend this chatty moment with you too.
Thank you, Anna.
Absolutely.
And Alicia.
Yeah, and Alicia, thank you for being here. Yes, it was really beautiful to catch up with you, Emily. I really appreciate you. You were always a very special and committed student, and I knew from the jump that you loved it so much and that it was a match made in heaven.
Oh, thank you. Is there anything you want to share, Sarah, about the things that you're working on?
Yeah, so everybody can always look at my website, astroauntie.com. I have a monthly get together called 13 Moons, in which I host a new moon gathering, which is a lot of fun, and we learn about the energies of the month ahead and what they mean for us. And then I have workshops that I teach for astrology students. We're just finishing now with my aspect workshops that I teach every 6 months. I have a workshop starting next week on rulerships, and then in July I have a workshop on prediction techniques. So anybody who is interested to learn more astrology can do so with me and check out the details on my website, astroauntie.com.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sarah. All right. Thank you for anybody who tuned in, and so much love and gratitude.
Mwah. Loving you a lot. Bye, Emily.
Bye.